Hello, welcome to tonight's stream. Hope y'all are having a good night, and welcome to what we got going on tonight. Turn that down a little bit. Maybe let me know how the volume of the music is. I'm gonna try and have some music background playing for us all tonight. Um, it sounds good. I'm smoking a whole chicken tomorrow for future meals. I got picked up some chicken at Sam's, and we're doing a little pulled thighs, smoked chicken breast, maybe a little smoked chicken stock or something. Pretty excited for that. Should be a good time. But thighs and taters sounds like a nice little meal you got there, Terry. How's everyone doing? Having a great week. Thanks for bearing with my week off last week. It was pretty awesome. I enjoyed some time. Birthday for the wife was a lot of fun. Hopefully, what up, Cyrus? Hopefully, you all saw my Instagram post. Made a little gumbo, made a little halibut ceviche. It's kind of chilled. It's a nice little break. But we're ready to come back and dive headfirst into it. As per usual, we're gonna just kind of ease into the stream, let people kind of gather, and we'll open some beer. I got a new brewery sponsorship for tonight, so pretty excited. First time ever trying their beer, so hope it's great. Picked up some gelato of theirs too, or that they contract for, so pretty excited to share that. And yeah, hopefully everyone's having a good week. How's everyone's week? All Cyrus, Terry, and whomever else is in the stream. I wish I could see that, but shit happens. Good weeks. Everybody enjoy. Weather's been kind of nice, off and on, weird, but I liked it. Playing a little golf tomorrow with Cyrus and my boy. Be a good time up at City Park. When he's looking to play a little golf tomorrow, I got a spot ready. One hole is open in my foursome for some socially distant golf at City Park 9 here in Fort Collins. Pretty easy couple-hour stroll around the park, hitting a little wet ball and trying to be frustrated about it. So if you're interested, hit me up. It's 10:48 tomorrow morning. You can show up 15 minutes early to putt, and that's it. So yeah, hit me up on the downside and figure it out. Other than that, yeah, glad to be back. I'm really excited to do some food. I got some fun stuff planned over the next couple weeks. We're going to try a couple different things, I think, next week. I think we're, depending on weather, we might be outside doing a grill episode. And we'll see how it goes. Hopefully we can get a few more people and then we'll go. Oh, man, I always enjoy. I've been playing golf since I was my kid's age. It's like just a part of who I am. Like I love, it's like it's where I find like some peace of mind, and I love it. I love golf. One of the hardest, most frustrating like sports I've ever been a part of. But man, it is a thing I can continue to play until I'm very old. Hopefully. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna grab something. Cool little surprise drop off. Yes, I've played with you, Terry, many times. It's a good time. I used to get angry a lot when I was younger, but now I'm just like enjoy it for what it is. Like I'm not trying to be a pro. I'm just trying to get a little bit better every time. And now I'm just trying to show Ethan and show him that he doesn't need to get angry and frustrated, because it's more about the walk and experience, and skill will come the more you play. So, but step off stream. Got this beauty yesterday, dropped off at the house by a pretty awesome human being. This is the newest issue of Craft Beer and Brewing Magazine, the Lager issue, just off the presses. I think like yesterday is when they just got these delivered. So super excited. We are, as always, the Too Fat Justin crew. Justin and I are featured as the I can't remember what page we're on, so I'm going to find it slowly. But we do recipes every 2 months, every issue. We are in this. So we are grilling. It's flipped, so hopefully I can't see it, but grilling with lagers. So we have some fun recipes. I'm going to post some pictures on Facebook and Instagram under Too Fat Justin's later today or tomorrow. I've been setting up some cool photos. We had some fun with this one. Made some mustard. Did some grilled flatbreads, a little shrimp, and some vegetables. It was really cool. So pick it up if you're not. We're always in here. It's pretty awesome. Really proud of the work we do for this. You get fun notes on how to like the pairings and why the beer. Justin does an amazing job setting, like just teeing up the food and beer and how the pairing should work. Something he's really great at, and it really worth picking up. And just the information you get from the magazine for beer in general is awesome, really impressive. So my little plug for one of our side projects. The other one is Two Fat Justins. I hope you go to twofatjustins.com. We have a website. Like we are like officially official. We are selling barbecue and paella. My paella sales have transferred over to there from the Google form. So we're like becoming like a real company. It's pretty impressive. Barbecue or smoked meat is like just insane right now. Finding meat's insane, but but like the feedback and the response and just the demand for it has been awesome. And Justin's been killing it. Hopefully you follow Two Fat Justins and you follow Justin Wright, Food Beer Life on Instagram and on Facebook, because man's got a skill. And like we're really trying to lean into that, have a good time with it. So without further ado, we're what, 6 minutes, almost 7 minutes into stream. I'm gonna see if there's anything else I can do to publicize this so we can have some fun. And I'm gonna get my beer out and we're gonna do this. Adam will not be joining us, so I have to watch the vlog. So, all right, open in fridge, grabbing beer. I was up doing some meat deliveries yesterday in Wellington, and I went to Sparge Brewing. Never been to Sparge Brewing. Neat little space right there at Interstate. Brand new building, really cool inside. I like the way it looked. Someday, hopefully, I get to go maybe check it out in person and sit and drink some beers. So I picked up a not appropriate for the meal because it's not, but I picked up a double IPA from them and some gelato that they had made with their house-made root beer. So pretty excited to try both. So I feel like this may have oxidized in the growler. It definitely oxidized in the growler. That sucks ass. All right, well, I won't be drinking that beer. Lots of bummer. All right, well, let's just get into it because now I'm bummed because I don't have a beard. I might have one more right here. We'll see. Damn it. Well, I got up slope, and I'll see what I can do. I'll reach out and see if they're willing to maybe on or something. I don't know. I was excited to try that tonight. All right, so let's dive right in. We're doing shaking beef for Back to Vietnam, a food and cuisine that I love. I think I've expressed that many times on the stream, or in person, or on our happy hour on Friday nights. So just a cuisine I love the food. I love just everything about it. It's fresh and it's vibrant and the flavors are amazing. So we're having a little fun. The recipe's posted. I haven't posted the recipe because I had some issues with some file. I'll post the recipe after in the Facebook group. Shaking beef is like a seared beef served over rice with some lettuce, like watercress. We're gonna use actually some spinach from Folks Farm that we had picked up. Got delivered this week because Folks Farm here in Fort Collins is delivering on Wednesdays. Some pea shoots from them as well. We're gonna a little shallot. I'm gonna do a little carrot cucumber salad. If anybody's ever eaten a Suhiro in Fort Collins, I know you have. You always get a little side dish of salad with your miso. I'm gonna kind of riff on that a little bit with some togarashi, and I'm gonna kick up this recipe a little bit for the shaking beef. Theirs is like sugar, soy, fish, beef. I'm gonna add a little bit of gochujara or Korean chili flakes. I want a little bit of heat to it, and then I got my rice cooker going, and we're gonna get a little steamed jasmine rice as well for the whole thing. So should be a good time. We all ready? I'm by the amazing responses on the chat. You all are ready? Do this. Post in chat what you're drinking. I'm Terry's drinking some Double Raw. Pretty jealous. Well, I have some in my fridge too, or in my pantry, but it's beer tonight. So let's get going. Yeah, I'm gonna tip you down. Let's do this. All right. All right, we good? So we're good. So I am doing 2 different cutting boards. I'm gonna cut some meat first. As you can see, I got a little meat there. So I have my first cutting board with a knife that I'm gonna use to cut my meat, but the beef up so I don't cross-contaminate my cutting board I'll use for everything else. I have 2 cuts of meat because as I mentioned earlier, meat's pretty difficult to come across right now. So pretty limited. I was able to find at King Soopers a piece of sirloin flat meat. So sirloin flat meat is like the top muscle of a top sirloin. It's has some really nice. It's kind of stringy. Almost looks like skirt, but it's not nearly as tough. Hopefully the focus is okay. I can't tell. Has some sinews, connective tissue. So we're going to cut against the grain to get some good small muscle fibers into this. We're going to take off this piece of connective tissue right here. And then I was over at Sprouts because I had to go to Sprouts for some fruit. And I picked up a little piece of flank because beggars can't be choosers. Any piece of like steak skirt would be good in this. Tri-tip would be amazing in this. Like something that's budget friendly that kind of fits what you can find. Boneless short ribs cut in small bites against the grain would also be really good for this. So without further, I'm going to start right up. I got this little piece of, I got my boning knife. I'm going to go take my tip with the blade facing away, go in as close to the surface of the sinew as I can without taking too much of the meat. I'm going to go, so I have I'm looking to create a little handhold because this handhold is how I'm able to like hold tight and then use the sharpness of the knife to pull to take this piece out of the sinew off. This is like when we first learned in culinary school when we're doing meat trimming and meat work in butcher class. It just is more efficient because you want as much of the meat as we pay by the pound for meat. We want as much of this meat as we can get because we pay for all of it. We pay for the sinew, we pay for the fat, we pay for the bone. Might as well get as much of it that we can sell or eat in this case. So I'm going to go in and take about, I don't know, inch, 3/4 of an inch strips with the grain so that I can then come back across the grain to make my bites. So if we look at it like this is just going to fall apart, like it's perfect. So when we're eating this and we're not like getting a jaw workout. Because if you wear a mask as much as I wear a mask for work, like I find that I'm clenching my jaw all the time. So I'm a fairly sore situation with like my jaw and my cheeks just from holding like this from wearing that mask. So I don't want to work that hard eating my dinner, that's for sure. So get through all this real quick, and we'll do the same with the flank. The flank is exactly the same way because I mean these are all just long strings of muscle. So we're going to take off a little bit of this connective tissue. When you get a whole piece of flank, there's a big piece right on this end of the muscle that is a submuscle connective tissue that doesn't, unless you're looking to braise your flank steak, which we're not. This is more of a seared dish. Shaking comes from the way the pan shakes when you cook it, which we're not going to do a whole lot of because we want to develop some really good caramelization. But I don't want to braise my flank steak for this, so I'm going to cut this in half and make it a little easier work on my board. As you can see that connective tissue is just right through that center. So we're going to have to cut this down to smaller bites so that we can handle that. So again, same, make my long strips with the grain, and then I'm going to go short against to break up the muscles, but also that connective tissue that I don't want to try to pull out because I don't want to deal with that today. It's supposed to be, this would make a really great weeknight meal. It's not a lot of prep. The recipe when I post it is super simple. I pulled this recipe from Milk Street. So Milk Street is Christopher Kimball. He was the founder of America's Test Kitchen and Cook's Country, which are both like magazines and TV shows on PBS on the Crate channel. Huge fan of both those programs. But he left, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago, and started Cook Street, which is a school and a magazine and a program on Crate as well, ironically. And I really love the way they approach recipes and food in a really fun way. So I pulled that recipe from there. Pretty cheap to get on right now for online access. So I recommend checking it out, milkstreet.com. I'm not sponsored or paid by them. It's just I think it's cool stuff. So I'm going to start with the salad. I'm going to let that kind of sit and hang out. I'm making enough because this is going to go. It seems like a lot, but I'm going to take this to lunch with me this week at work. So I'm going to kind of go with that. So we're going to start with the veg prep. I have pre-peeled some shallots. I got some limes for both the salad dressing with some rice vinegar, but also we're going to deglaze the pan at the very end with some lime juice to kind of pull up that fond that build up on the bottom. So for my salad, I got a cucumber, pretty cheap at Sprouts right now, and I got some carrots. Carrots are washed. I'm going to grate them in my grater. Take my peeler, my white peeler, pick these up. These are awesome. I think I've talked about it before. It's going to take, and then when I peel vegetables, like I just use the board and then rotate. You can see okay? Because when you're peeling 25 pounds of carrots or potatoes or cucumbers or anything, like you want an economy of movement, because if you're sitting there holding like this or like this, it's a lot of this spinning in your hand. But if you use the board and you're just rotating with your fingers, it just takes so much work out of your day and your task. So cut this down the middle, and I'm going to take these seeds out because I don't want to add, the seeds are fairly bitter, and I don't like to add that bitterness to this because I want it to be like a bright, fresh salad and to be like a nice quench, because I'm gonna have some heat. I'm gonna have some like rich flavors and some pretty aggressive flavors in the beef with the fish sauce and the soy that we're gonna use in this. I want this to be kind of a nice complement to that. And a hot day, when we're getting into those hot temperatures this summer, I really think about how can we eat that like kind of refreshes and reflects from that. So seeds are out. No little boats. I'm just going to cut this again in a quarter, and I'm just going to do little bite-sized pieces. Going to go right into my bowl right over here. So how's that strawberry? What is that strawberry? The strawberry light? What is that? Talk to me about this beer. Like I really want to try it. I got to try and get out to Timoth this week and grab myself a crowler of that. I like the way that sounds for some lawnmower beer. And then we're going to hit this salad up with some grated carrots. Like we're going to use that box grater we used a couple weeks ago for the meatballs and the little slaw I did. I'm going to add that to that. And then we're going to add a little sesame oil, a little rice vinegar, some togarashi. If you're here for the ramen episode, togarashi is one of my favorites. Japanese, also referred to as Japanese 7-spice. This stuff is amazing. It's super awesome. I don't peel my carrots. I'm just going to go right in. I've washed them. And then just use my grater. And I'm going to go right in. Cool. Everybody's doing good. Good. Having a good time. All right, we got one carrot down. We're almost through the other. No matter what I do, this grater just creates a mess every week, right? I mean, everywhere. Just carrots. Maybe I should think of a new grater. I just like the little catch. I don't know. Maybe not go back and forth. Maybe that's the key, right? Ooh, look at that. Sounds cool. Sounds nice. Would you say it's refreshing? So, like hot day, lawn mowing, back patio kind of situation. That's the question I guess I have for this. So going in with my carrots, and we should be like not super soon, but I would say probably the next, I don't know, month and a half, we'll start seeing. Nice, awesome. It sounds like a Shauna beer. That's funny. We should start seeing carrots locally through either like at the farmers market or direct, there are several really awesome farm stands that are going to be opening up here or already open here in Fort Collins. I'm not so certain about Loveland, so if people have a better handle on the Loveland situation, I'd be down to listen or post in the chat because I don't know much about where Loveland farmers markets are sitting right now, unfortunately. I'm going to see if I can use the bowl better to my advantage. I think I can. All right, so we're going to go in with a little bit of salt. I don't like to use soy in the salad because I want it to be more of a clean flavor, and the soy is going to add like a little bit more of umaminess to it that I'm not sure I really want to introduce to the salad. So a little bit of salt. And then I'm going to let this sit for a little bit with the salt on it, and that's going to help, like what we do with the cabbage in the slide. It's going to start pulling some of that moisture out so that we can get a good seasoning, and then we can kind of see how much water is going to leach out, and we can kind of go from there. So let that sit right there for like a space. We got to get a bigger space. Anybody got a bigger space I can use? So from here, I'm going to add a little bit of rice vinegar. I use unseasoned rice vinegar. Seasoned rice vinegar is usually, they add, I think I've talked about this, stop me if I have somebody, they just add sugar or corn syrup to it, and I don't like that. This way we can control that flavor however we want. We will be adding a little bit of sugar to this. And then a little bit of nice quality toasted sesame oil to add a nice little flavor, and then that togarashi. So we'll let that sit for a little bit. And I'm going to change this song because that is not at all what I want to have going on tonight. Down with this copyright-free music. So what we're going to do is I'm going to get this burner going. I'm going to go medium-high on my Dutch oven. I want a good solid base so we get a nice good heat, ability to hold a good amount of heat at the bottom and transfer that heat really well to the beef because we want a really good caramelization. So we're going to go from there. Let me bring my recipe. And then while we're at it, I'm going to pull up. So we have this beautiful spinach we got from Folks Farm. Alex and the team up there are doing amazing work. Big fan and supporter of theirs for a long time. This week we got little like just little bunches of spinach, and I love it. They're just so tender. This is I think this is a variant of Savoy spinach because you have this variation in the leaves. It's not nearly as round. It has some pointiness to it. Had a little more texture. You're going to want to pick spinach that looks like this because if you do not pick it, it's going to be it's not going to be very fun to eat ever. So I'm going to pick that. It's like eating like a wintergreen, like chard or kale or collards. Like you get that stem, it's bitter. It cooks at a different rate than the leaves do, so you'll have like a tougher stem when your leaf is like completely broken down and cooked through, and it kind of aesthetically not very pleasing because then this looks like a big thing of stems, but also it's just, I don't know, it doesn't taste as good. So take a little bit of that. They also have dried right now, let's see, chives, sprouts, spinach. They're selling some locally dried beans from last season. They have an Anasazi and Borloti cranberry bean that I picked up a bag of each this week. I'm going to be cooking some beans at home this week for some lunches and just some meals. Beans are a great source of protein, and they just taste great. I love beans. So just going to go through and pick all this while my pan is preheating. And then they have daikon sprouts as well as pea sprouts right now. And they're doing a little plant start sale. So if you have a garden and you want to not do from seed because you A, don't have space, B, aren't good at it, like myself, or C, are new to planting and gardening, it's a great way to go. I think this weekend is also the Gardens on Spring Creek sale. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. So a lot of really good opportunities right now out there. A lot of them are doing either delivery or curbside pickup for your order. So you can still do it. Like I drove into the Lowe's parking lot today because I'm trying to figure out how to protect my garden from a rabbit that wants to continue to nest in my garden. And I drove in and I'm like, screw this noise. And I drove out because it was a friggin' nightmare. I can't even, like, I'm going to have to get up like at 6 a.m. and be at Lowe's before end times. Like hundreds of people without masks walking around. in Lowe's. This is not something I want to do on my Saturday or Sunday. That is for certain. But I need to figure out a way to keep the bunnies from eating my food because, well, it's my food, not theirs. I mean, I talked to a friend of ours and they're like, well, we got owls. I'm like, well, I don't have owls. I live in town. They don't have owls. They don't like it here. So got my spinach all clean. On my pea sprouts. So there's a couple different, like pea sprouts are when they're really young and tender like this. So this would be a pea sprout. You can even get them smaller. I'm just going to kind of get them all back together. I'm going to take out this bottom like 1.5 inches because they're a little tough to eat. Because they go a little like chewy, fibery. And I don't think that's like kind of the best for, especially for something like this, because we're going to pour the meat and the sauce over this. So it kind of will wilt it as it kind of cools down. So we're not going to add a whole lot. Like we're not going to cook this in the pan at all. So we got this. Good stuff, right? And then we're going to get our beef marinating now. Now that it's kind of sitting and we're in a good spot. We got our plate of beef. Got a spoon. We're going to go in through here. We'll go off the stream. And then we're going to go in with 2 tablespoons of soy sauce. I didn't pre-measure. You're just going to watch me measure. It's good times. And some salt and ground pepper. Or some ground pepper. I'm going to add the gochujang at the very end so that it has a, what up, Tris? Welcome to stream. Thanks for joining us tonight. Hope you guys are having a good time. I've really been enjoying seeing your knives, your craftsmanship on Facebook, and you got a skill, man. That looks awesome. I'm pretty excited for that chef knife. Just saying. And drink. Cheers. I'm drinking some Upslope Experimental IPA because the rest of my beer is in the garage fridge, which is not close. So I'm just gonna mix this all up so that I have a good coverage of my black pepper and my soy. And then we're gonna add some oil. I could measure my oil, but I'm not going to because I'm lazy. And I just kind of know what it looks like. I'm gonna turn my fan on. Hopefully the computer mic does what it did last time I turned the fan on. We'll see. If it's too loud, let me know. I will talk louder. And then we are going to go in right away. Probably can't see real well in there right now, unfortunately. Ooh, it's loud. I'm not going to touch that for a little bit. I'm going to let that go. I'm going to get my shallot sliced up. So we're going to add that in, get a little caramelized shallot. We got some garlic over here. A little bit of less of the green garlic and a little bit of just regular garlic to add to the whole thing. Because I like a lot of garlic in my food. Hopefully y'all like a lot of garlic in your food as well. Bam. And then my lime prep. Ooh, it's looking good in here, guys. Hopefully we can we see? Yeah, we can see a little bit, right? It's starting to look good, right? Looking good. You can see some browning happening on the bottom. Yeah. Yeah. Can we go right here with another one? There we go. Better? Yeah, good. So that's why we like to really get our pan really preheated so that it's like super hot, because it will lose heat really, really quickly, and we just don't want to. We don't want to lose that heat because it just takes so long to reheat. So I'm going to get a little bit of lime juice squeeze. I like to cut mine in half and then squeeze, but do as you so feel. If you have a juicer, probably even better than not having a juicer, I guess. I don't have a juicer. I just go old school, hands and all. And what's nice about squeezing limes or any citrus with your hands is it lets you know if you have a cut or a crack in your skin, man. Oof. Currently, lots of cracks in my skin from constant glove use at work and hand washing. So it's a good feeling I got going on right now. It's a little party on my hand for certain. So we're starting to see a lot of the moisture in the water. I'm trying to get this a better. So we're going to see a lot of that, the water content in the beef is coming out with the soy, and that's what we're seeing. We're going to let that evaporate and boil off, and it's going to help build caramelization that we're looking for. Because caramelized meat is the best meat, says somebody, right? So let that go. Let that ready. We're going to go back to our little salad. I lost one of my little pedestals the laptop sits on, so I'm off kilter. You see, okay, cool. If you can't see or you have a question, feel free to post in chat. I will try to do the best I can. Also, don't forget to like the stream and subscribe to my channel. It helps stuff for the future. And just remind you when I'm let you know when I'm streaming, or it's easy to find my channel when you're maybe you missed something, or I start I want to have a goal to start posting just videos that I record on off days of stuff that maybe I can't do with my laptop, but I can do with my phone and put up there. Just some different content for you guys that I can maybe show off, like grilling or smoking, or I found this cool cookbook or whatever. Just something that we can look at or I can share. And this lets you guys know, and it just helps me kind of see where things are at. Like if it's something that this is a topic or an episode that we liked that I did, or if we didn't like, or just allows me a little bit of growth, I guess, and how to make the channel better and a better viewing experience for everybody who's involved. Go down a bit for the fan, hopefully. Can everybody hear me okay? So in the salad, I've added a little bit of rice vinegar. I would say probably about a tablespoon, maybe a tablespoon and a half. And I'm going to go about a teaspoon of just granulated white sugar. I use granulated, not powdered sugar, because powdered sugar is cut with cornstarch. And I just don't like the way it will break down for this. I just want to add a little bit of balanced sweetness to the rice vinegar I added, which rice vinegar is just already a little sweet and not super tart to begin with. So we're going to kind of spin that around. Looks like I got some good coverage. Do a little taste with my random butter spoon. A little more salt. And a touch more of the vinegar. Ooh. This will keep really well for like a day. I would eat this. Try to make enough that you can eat like right away, because it will really break down. It'll just be like a giant soggy mess of and I just don't recommend it. It's not as nearly as enjoyable experience as when it's super fresh, because everything will be super crunchy. I'm gonna hit it with some of this togarashi right now, because I want to get that heat kind of building. And then we're gonna just a little bit of this toasted sesame oil. Toasted sesame oil, you want to make sure you keep that in the fridge, because it will go rancid really quick. And rancid toasted sesame oil is pretty disgusting. The smell, the flavor, I just don't recommend even a little bit of it. So the beef's beef is starting to get to a nice level. Yeah, we're starting to look good. So we're going to let this kind of hang out. Let this continue to simmer off like this. I'm going to hit white rice to start over my super, super fancy rice cooker. We talked about rice a couple weeks ago, so I'm not going to cover it again. Into this dish, I'm going to add my lime juice. I'm going to add fish sauce. 3 tablespoons of fish sauce. Again, Red Boat, because it's the best. Try to be really careful with not letting it touch your hands, because this does not wash off. The smell does not wash off quickly at all. Actually, it's pretty aggressive, which is pretty unfortunate. And then we're gonna add a little bit of, we're gonna add 2 tablespoons of sugar. It's almost like a nak cham, a little Vietnamese dipping sauce. Sugar, fish sauce, a little bit of acid, and you throw in a little fresh chilies. This would be a great dipping sauce for like spring rolls, or even a little salad dressing. To something kind of rich like this. I think this would be kind of fun. So we're gonna let this stir around. The sugar will start to dissolve. You start to hear the beef is starting to caramelize really nicely. Smells pretty amazing in here. So I'm gonna go right in with all of these shallots and this garlic so that we can kind of capitalize on this. And I'll pick you all up in a second and show you where I'm at. Don't worry. Yeah, that sounds really good. All right. So as we can hopefully see, one of these on the webcam, you can see how like that. You see that all that moisture's gone. We have a nice popping, like a really fast popping sound. That is just that quick evaporation instantly in the fat that is rendered out of the beef and the oil that we had in there. So I've gone in with the shallots and the garlic to really help. We'll get a little bit of that caramelization and wilting on that, and it'll be fun. The cast iron skillet will work really good here as well. You can kind of riff on this as a marinade for like steaks and grill them off on like on your grill outside, and kind of do like a shaking beef steak. I think that'd be kind of pretty fun. And then do the sauce as like a dipping sauce component to your dish, as opposed to a part that we're going to add here in a little bit. So only all of this stuff nice and broken down. I'm not sure my rice will be done in time. We'll find out. In the meantime, let's go. Hi, how are you doing? Everyone doing good? Drinking beer? What are everybody drinking? We still drinking rye, Terry? Yeah. Sai, what are you drinking, Sai? Something good? Tris, you drinking something good? Having a good time? What did everybody do today? Enjoy some kind of nice, cool spring weather. Awesome. Hey, I'm also drinking water. I'm tag teaming. I'm double fisting with the good and the bad. Yeah. So this is starting to smell really good. And I'll also post some more photos on Facebook when this is all done. It'll be fun. So I'm nice. A cold 90. That sounds good. That sounds really nice. I think next week there are some some things for me on my end that are kind of up in the air. We might be going to Estes, but I'm still planning on doing a cooking stream from Estes. There is my family or my wife's family has a couple rentals in Estes that can't rent out currently, but as family we can go stay there as long as we pay, take care of the cleaning situation, and just kind of get out of the house for a little bit, get up in the mountains. Even if we can't do a whole lot, we can still go up there. Nicole's parents are there, so we can do some socially distant hanging out with them. I know they'd appreciate that. So we might be up there next weekend. And if that's the case, I think they have a really pretty dope grill on their patio of their rental. And I'm thinking maybe we can do a little outdoor stream, some grilling, talk about maybe just burgers and just shoot the shit. I don't know. We'll do some planning. And then the week after that, I think we're going to get into, yeah. So I'm going to hit it with this sauce right here. I'm going to pull off the heat right now. Woo! That fish sauce is just like the best kind of feast. Oh, thanks, and happy Mother's Day to all your mothers and wives and everyone. Like tomorrow is Mother's Day. I know it's hard to remember that that's where we're at right now. But yeah, thank you, Tris. That's awesome, and same to Aaron and your fam and your mom. I know she's in Loveland, memory serves. So hopefully he's doing something fun with their important women in their lives tomorrow. That's pretty awesome. And I think I'm taking my kid golfing so that my wife can have a couple hours at home without a kid around. So that's kind of and I'm gonna make dinner tomorrow night. So I hate it with that fish sauce and lime juice and sugar. So we got a nice little sauce happening right there. It looks awesome. Hope you're all jealous because that's my dinner. And if you're not, well, I'm not doing my job well enough. So I'm going to taste. I like that. I like that a lot. A whole lot. I'm gonna go in with just a little bit of this Korean chili flake. It's red. It's got like this nice like pepper note. Not a ton of heat. It's like a 3 or 4. But it has a really cool color. It has this really fun, almost citrusy kind of smell to it. Huge fan. And then I am actually going to add a little bit of fresh basil. The recipe doesn't call for it, but I had some basil that you used up, and I like a little like fresh mint would be dope in here. Like mint would be super awesome. So a little bit of fresh basil to just bring this like fresh element, and then you're going to want to garnish this with some lime wedges over the salad. And we're going to get all this together. I'm still a few minutes out on my rice, unfortunately, so I'll have to post a picture on the Facebooks and Instagram for you guys to check out. Unfortunately, but ooh yeah, I'm gonna hit this with just a tiny bit more lime juice. I think that it needs a little more acid just in the base. And then yeah, so maybe something grill. I think either way, if I'm gonna ask this or not ask this, I'm gonna do something grill based next week because I just kind of want to go outside and see how stream travels outside. And then from there, I think we're gonna continue down this Vietnam trek. Vietnam, Thailand, Cambodia, Korea. I think we're gonna kind of play around in the islands a little bit and in the peninsula because I love the flavors. We're getting in the summer, and I think that these are really great dishes on hot days as the weather warms up. Like having that a food that kind of you can eat room temperature, cool, or something that kind of refreshes you with bright flavors. And we'll start talking about local produce, and we'll start playing around with the fun vegetables that are coming out of the gardens that you're growing or at your local farm stands. I will try to post more in the cooking group on farm stands that I'm available or that are open, what they have going on, some links to some different farms because I plan on like 100% to supporting them once like as much as I can for as much produce as I can source from them to supplement my home pantry. Just because it's just the best way to go. For so many reasons I don't want to get into it. So I'm pretty excited about that. I think I'm really excited where we're going with stream, and I'm super thankful for you guys for being here every week, every Saturday night, or watching me or listen to whatever you guys do. I can't believe this is what I get to do now and have fun with it. So if you continue to have any suggestions, thoughts, or ideas of what we want to do, or you have a question about food, or you want me to do a dish because you've always wanted to try it, but you want to kind of see how it's done, but not in like I watched it on the cooking channel and they made it look super easy, but I'll probably mess up a little bit so you can see if we can fix it. Like, let me know. I'm open to anything, and I love supporting you guys the best I can because you're my audience and all of you are my friends. So let me know. For your Instant Pot, I would probably do yes when you sear. You can marinate with some chopped ginger as well. Would work. Or you can probably throw a big chunk in the Instant Pot as well, right as you add in. I don't have a ton of experience with Instant Pot. I don't own one. I guess it's more of the old-fashioned cook in me. I've never really got into it, so I can try to look into it and see what I can do for you guys on that one. But yes, I would say marinate your chicken with some ginger, some fresh ginger, like grated or finely diced, like minced really fine, or throw a big chunk in. You'll extract that flavor in that Instant Pot because this is a pressure cooker. But from now, I think I want to just thank all you guys. Pick up Craft Beer and Brewing Magazine. Hopefully just hit the newsstands like this weekend. Two Fat Justins is featured. We got recipes. We're working on the next batch of recipes right now. It's an IPA issue, so we're going to have some pretty fun and hopefully you'll be surprised at how we're going to go with this. I'm pretty excited about what we're doing for this issue. Go and like Two Fat Justins and go to twofatjustins.com. Paellas and smoked meat and who knows what else we're going to put into there. It's a lot of fun and we love the support. And then to support your locals, your breweries, your grocers, your food, and be safe humans out there because how else are we gonna live? But for now, I'm gonna cut this short because I don't have rice ready, so I can't do a pretty plate. But I'll post a plate here when it's ready on my socials. Justin Kruger, I hope you guys are all my friends on Facebook. And then I'm Beer Drinking Chef on Instagram. I'm a sporadic poster with intent of becoming better someday on that front. Please hit me up a follow or a request to follow, and I'll get you approved, and we can have fun with that. In the meantime, also Friday nights, 8 o'clock on Zoom. It is that's the 40-minute relog meme that I've become. Every 40 minutes we relog, but we drink beers and bullshit and just catch up and just have a great social experience. You're all welcome. At any time, just hit it up. I'll always post a link on the Facebook on the page. It's always the same link, so if I don't post it, it's still the same spot. It's my Zoom link. Drink beer, and it's just a lot of fun. And I think, as we were talking about last night, Terry, like this is the most socializing I've had with you guys in years because I can hang out at home and I can drink beer that I bought myself, and I don't have to drive anymore. I'm done. I have to walk 10 feet and I'm in bed. And I just love it. I look forward to every week, and it's been a great way to connect and get to know a lot of you a whole lot better than I knew you before. So with that, I think I'm going to kick it. Be looking for the next link for next week. I should know probably tomorrow if we're going to be in Estes or not. And if we are, we're doing burgers or something on the grill. Maybe burgers. I've been kind of craving a good burger. Make a little aioli. Good times. Maybe I'll make some buns. Ooh, maybe I'll make some buns. I'll do a little. Maybe I can do a little bread baking, because you all are making bread anyway, because you're all fucking crazy out there with your bread. I'll make a little quick, simple white bread yeast dough instead of this complicated sourdough starter shit. We'll do a little white bread bun, and we'll do some burgers, homemade aioli. Get some local spinach again, and we'll kind of have fun with it. So in the meantime, don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, share if you want. Everyone's welcome. And then I'll see you guys next week. So thanks again for coming, and I appreciate all of y'all. And happy eating.